nuclear under Modi, what are the prospects?
Sure. The major progress from the energy transition and energy self-sufficiency progress perspective has been on the renewable side, as well as a revival in the thermal coal capex cycle. We have seen so far more limited developments on the nuclear front. The reason is when you look at the power cost curve in India, the round-the-clock renewables are already attractive on the power cost curve compared to many other countries. For example, compared to China, we think the round-the-clock renewables in India is 27% cheaper on a levelized basis. Secondly, India has a unique integrated grid that allows more accommodation of renewables in our view, again, compared to China, where the grid is not fully integrated. But again, India's electricity demand is also growing at a very rapid pace. So round-the-clock renewable is one solution on the power cost curve. But given the amount of electricity demand we need, thermal coal is another important capex cycle that the country is going through right now.
Okay. Man's coming on this.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, every single country has got their renewable goals. Every single country has got fantastic green ambitions. But actually achieving them as those ambitions has proved a little bit more tricky than most countries were expecting. And a lot of projects, like, for example, wind turbines, the costs have blown out, things like transforming the energy grid and building the infrastructure that's necessary for the transition. It all takes a lot longer and costs a lot more than everyone was expecting. What do you feel that India's experience with this is, and is it going to be very much similar?
Thank you, Mandy. That's a great question. So what's unique about India is, in particular, you mentioned about the grid as well, is the grid is already integrated. This is unique compared to similar-sized large economies around the world who are yet to work on integrating their grid. What it means as a starting point, if the grid is integrated, and let's say a country has to overbuild the grid, it means the power, and if, let's say, the access is kept free for the renewable companies to the grid, the net benefit of the power generation cost deflation will be more than the increase in the network cost. So the starting point of the grid is already integrated. It allows renewable companies to choose the most optimum sites to put up their renewable facility. For example, we can put a solar project in Rajasthan where sun is shining more. We can put a wind project in Karnataka where wind is blowing more. Or we can put a pumped hydro storage facility in Maharashtra where you have a best geological location for pumped hydro storage. In theory, this is one project, but a developer can put it in different location because the grid is already integrated and the access to grid has also been kept free for the renewable project. So that is unique in India's context. That provides a stronger foundation. On top of, the base generation cost for solar is cheaper because of higher solar irradiation in India. That is why we do believe India's renewable capacity growth, which is running at a run rate of 15 to 20 gigawatt addition per year, will double by the end of this decade in terms of the annual installation. And grid plays a very critical factor in accommodating this. So we do see grid as an energy transition enabler in India's context.
Very interesting.